Yo, 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 yo. How's it going? My name is Travis Ripley. Some of you know me as Travez. Here in the world of the interwebs, I'm a fabricator, designer, engineer, creator. I decided to take on the venture of learning to code. I've done coding a lot in my life, working in game development and design, but I want to get into the web world, and I decided to take the challenge and do it on my own, and it wasn't enough. So I found a boot camp, the San Diego Code School, headed by Michael Roberts Jr. and Margaret, and they allowed me to join forces with them and attend their boot school. It's a 16-week program. The first 12 weeks is the core. The last 4 are an internship, and you work with a local company to develop a web app. It's a JavaScript-based program, and they have they go through a stack. I'm learning what all this stuff means. I think that's like with React and Node and Express and other things like that. So I've been learning the GitHub. So I'm in my 3rd week. I should have done these earlier, but hey, life happens. And I've gone through a lot of challenges. It's definitely really difficult. Going back through JavaScript and HTML and CSS. I had done that in the late 90s in high school, the basic HTML, but now it's the added element of the HTML and the CSS and the JavaScript. And this program, you'll basically have a back end and you learn front end and back end. And basically right now we're on the front end part of it with the HTML and the CSS and the JavaScript. And then that talks to the back end from what I understand. And I'm using Visual Studio Code and a text editor. And I'm using not only the knowledge I'm getting from Mike and the challenges that he gives us, but I'm taking courses from like Udemy and tons of books and magazines and people who I know in the community who I can talk to about these things. My buddy Brian Austin, who was a former student at this boot camp, who had great success. The challenges are just understanding the JavaScript and the algorithm, and it's a new language. It's like learning Spanish, or it's like learning Espanol or Nihongo, like Japanese. Like you bring it in and you have to change your brain into that type of thought and make it work. So it's me speaking that language, like changing that from what I natively know as English into this JavaScript, into this world, and speaking it out there and making it look good. I mean, you can make code, but you got to make it look good, baby. You know what I mean? And as a designer, that's the whole thing I'm all about. And the biggest challenge I face this week is finishing the core, what they call Web 102, which are 3 projects: a calculator, an astro calculator takes your weight and puts it how the gravity would affect that, or an object, how that would be affecting other planets. It has a DOM, which is a dominant object model, and that's the interface, and then you use JavaScript to do the calculations and have it talk to it. It took me forever. Like I wasn't understanding what to do, and I got it to work together after asking questions and wanting to blow my brains out. But I finally made it work. And then the second project, and added on that, it's you had to make a change calculator. So if I gave you money, I had to break that change down and then return in the interface into the monetary denotations of dollars, quarters, dimes, and pennies. I got that to work. I had to learn this thing called the modulo, and I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what that was, but I figured it out, and it took me a little bit. Then the third challenge was making a San Diego top spots, and you had to bring a map in, a Google map, to kind of show you where it's at, and took me a little bit to understand. But once because we were using this thing called JSON, but once I figured out how to take the JSON information and what they do called parsing, and then bringing that in, and then putting that in an HTML table, once I got that all wrapped up, I was so proud of myself, and I beat that challenge. Now I'm doing algorithms, and it's a whole other thing. I don't know math. Do engineers and people like that really use math? Yeah, they do. Euler angles, baby. So I kind of had to sit there and sit back, and then you think about all these processes, and I wish I would have done the algorithms before I had done the other projects. But I get it. Like I get why you're challenging yourself, and now I have a better understanding. And I don't want to step back unless I'm going to clean up those projects when I make a better interface, using this knowledge and making my code a lot cleaner. And so I've looked at other people's code and seen how they've written it, and I was kind of on the same par. My ideas were a little bit different as I looked at different aspects, and so I'm learning. But these challenges, I mean, I just figured out with just diligence, due diligence, being rad, which is something that we learn, at the camp, and the code challenges we do and everything, and just putting the hours in. I'm trying to do 44 to 48 hours, baby. So if eventually I want to be at the point where I'm a junior web dev. I mean, I'm going to do hopefully an internship and then be a web dev and then make that Tesla money, baby. I mean, come on now. I want to be driving in my car like this, listening to that good dirty reggae and some good rock and roll. I mean, those are my favorite things, and to be able to do that with my lady, So it was nice speaking to you guys. I'll see you guys next week, and I'll let you know what else didn't happen on these Wacky Wednesdays, or what did happen, and let you know about my progress. And I hope to see you in the future. Maybe you'll be an employer, or I'll be at the point where I'm impressing you guys, and maybe I'm doing Udemy videos or YouTube videos and expressing my knowledge that I've learned and challenges, and teaching you guys how to code. That would be awesome. As an instructor, I mean, that's always a former instructor. That's just something you always strive for, is to teach people. So hopefully, when I learn and I get it, and I make a good foundation and grounding, and I put in that cornerstone, I'll bring that to you and be on the square, baby. All right, love you guys.